This is the story of how one single video managed to get me a lot of views. It wasn't planned, neither was it expected, but it happened. And in this breakdown, I'll explain exactly why. The reason it works comes down to three main things: the thumbnail, the title, and the editing. I'll go through each step by step, analyze them in detail, and show you why they worked and why they mattered and how small decisions make a big difference. The thumbnail is the first thing people see before someone clicks, before they even read the title. Their eyes go straight to the thumbnail. It's like a handshake of your video. If it's weak or confusing, people scroll past. If it's strong and clear, they click. The thumbnail I used was extremely simple: a black background, white squiggly lines, a YouTube logo in the middle, and blue chart going up. At first it might sound too basic, but that simplicity is what made it work. The black background created contrast. When you're scrolling through YouTube, most thumbnails are colorful, bright, and filled with lots of pictures. A pure black background is rare, so it stands out immediately. It's like a pause in the middle of noise. Then there was the white squiggly lines. At first they might seem random, but they weren't. They added energy. Without them, the thumbnail would be just lazy and lame. And the logo, the red YouTube logo, is to signify that everything was achieved on YouTube. And the chart, well, the chart signifies popularity, rise, and something going viral. Part 2, the title. Now let's take a look at the title of the video. How I managed to get a lot of views by one video. On the surface, it's not that fancy of a title, but let's break down exactly how and why it worked. So it's the first part. How I managed immediately tells the viewer that this is a personal story. It's not just a tip or a theory, it's my experience. People love experiences because they feel real. The second part is to get a lot of views. Is the hook everyone on YouTube wants views. It's the universal goal, so when you see the face, it instantly connects with something you want. And the final part, by one video, adds some mystery. How many views? What kind of video? How did it happen? It creates a question in the viewer's mind, and that question can only be answered by clicking. The title also worked because it was short and clear. A common mistake is making titles too long, with too many keywords or trying to sound perfect, but people don't want perfection. They want reality. They want something to feel human. It wasn't like the ultimate guide to increasing YouTube views in 2025. It was just saying how I managed to get a lot of views by one video. Simple, direct, and relatable. And relatability is a key. A new creator reading that thinks, if this person managed to do it, maybe I can too. That thought is what makes them click. Part 3, editing. Now let's talk about the editing. The editing was done in CapCut. It wasn't fancy, I know, but it wasn't complex. Yet it was clean, smooth, and effective. The most important thing in editing is pacing. Pacing is the rhythm of your video. If there's a long pause, awkward silence, or sections that drag on, people have attention in the most valuable things on YouTube, and you can't afford to waste it. So I cut out the unnecessary parts, I trimmed the pauses, I kept the flow moving. That made the video easy to watch out without moments where the viewer feels bored. I also added text pop-ups and small transitions, not too many though. Not overwhelming, just enough to keep it visually alive. The balance is important, okay? Too little editing feels lazy, yet too much feels distracting. The sweet spot is simple touches that enhance the message without overpowering it, okay? And then there's the music. Instead of using the same copyright-free background tracks that everyone else uses, I made my own using BandLab. This gave the video a unique atmosphere. Music is powerful. Without music, a video can feel empty. With the wrong music, a video can feel fake. But with the right music, even simple visuals come alive. By creating my own, I made sure the vibe was original. Editing isn't just about cutting clips, it's about keeping people watching and interested in your video. And there are a lot of factors that would give you this result. And one of the biggest is how YouTube decides what to recommend. A video with good retention gets promoted. A video with poor retention gets disappeared. By keeping the bass in tight and the music original, this video managed to hold attention, and that was a huge factor in why it grew. Lessons learned. Looking back, the success of the video wasn't about luck, it was about clarity. The thumbnail was clear, the title was clear, the editing was clear, everything was clear. People didn't even have to work to understand what was going on. They didn't even have to try to guess. Just by looking at the thumbnail, they could know what's going on. YouTube growth. I got views just by reading I got views, they instantly click. The lesson is that you don't need perfection. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need years of experience. What you need is clarity.